Chandrayaan-3 launch has begun. The launch is going to take place today. The launch takes place in Sri Harikota from launch pad number 2. It's going to use the LVM-3, the launch vehicle Mark 3, which is going to house the Chandrayaan-3 mission module. The mission module is pretty much similar than what Chandrayaan-2 had in 2019. However, there's one major difference. We don't have the lunar orbiter this time around. August 23rd is when they're saying that it will finally attempt that soft landing on the moon. Now, the problem here is, ladies and gentlemen, one Earth day on the moon becomes 15 Earth days, because that's how slow the moon is orbiting the sun, the Earth. On the other hand, they will have to wait and find out whether August 23rd is going to be the right date, because the life of the module, the mission module, is going to be just 14 days. 120 degrees turns into minus 120 degrees when there is no sunlight on the surface of the moon. So there is essentially no solar power or solar heat to keep these machines running. Take a look at these, this particular blurb on the newspaper. Ask the camera person to quickly focus on this little portion. Now, this little portion over here, it showcases what the mission is all about. You're going to have a rover. You will also have, right here, towards this side, you have the rover, and you have the lander. Now, the lander is called Vikram, named after Vikram Sarabhai. They say the father of Indian, aeronautics.
Scientific thought.
And you also have
modern
the rover. The rover is called Pragyan. Now, the rover, it's interesting to note here, Varghese, that the rover has the ability to pick up data on seismic activity on the moon. It's going to pick up data on the soil that it's walking on. A little ramp is going to protrude from the lander, on which the rover is going to climb down. It will have an umbilical cord connected with the lander for better data on where all the rover can go. Only 14 days. Nothing groundbreaking that's going to happen here. But India is going to become the 4th country on the planet to finally successfully attempt a soft landing on the moon.
It's also a proof of concept that we are looking at when it comes to this. The proof of concept especially being when it comes to how the moon landing can be done.
These are ISRO scientists in Tirupati. Varghese, sorry to cut you short, because the God's blessings is, very important. You remember how, the ISRO chief started crying, shedding those tears out, and the Prime Minister had to come back in and, hug him, tell him that all's good. After Chandrayaan-2, have we taken the right step in the right direction when it comes to Chandrayaan-3, getting over with the lunar orbiter?
I would wait till August 23rd, because we have to wait till August 23rd. It's a very complex maneuvering.
You mean to say the launch is the part that we have nailed? It's the landing that we have to focus on.
The landing we have to focus, because the launch, we have sent a probe to Mars as well. We have sent successful probes to the moon. So the question is about whether we can attempt that soft launching, because it will give the fact that India has mastered certain degree of rover technology that we have, and it is on an experimental scale as well. But this we have to just wait and watch, because our workhorses, especially our launch vehicles, have been tested for quite well. And for me, I would wait till August 23rd to find out what exactly happened when it comes to the soft landing on the moon. And of course, they are trying to attempt to land it at a location where a lot of exploratory activity has not taken place. And this is, the moon could be the future, the kind of
what does this signify in terms of India's position on the global stage in the race towards space? You've seen those old pictures, right? India is now finally
low budget,
in the club.
High tech.
Low budget and high tech. So
tech.
This is essentially our demonstration of our engineering prowess, right? We're trying to show the world how we can do it in less amount of money
exactly.
And still with the right kind of accuracy and quality.
Across the world, people, of course, we can't compare ourselves with the kind of budget that NASA and other European Space Agency and others get. But with whatever we have, ingenuity and creativity is what we rely on. For example, when we went to Mars, we relied a lot on gravity. We actually relied a lot on gravity. It took time to reach Mars, but we relied on gravity, and we did send the probe out there. here also we will be relying a lot on gravity as well, and let us see how this is going to in fact be, because one thing is that Kabir, this is a very sophisticated mission. It is a very, very sophisticated mission that we are looking at, and it has several steps that has to be cleared and monitored, and
certainly
it's a complex maneuvering that we are trying to
10,000
do.
seats, Varghese. 10,000 seats have already been sold. They've gone in 3.5 hours. Everybody is there to see the launch of Chandrayaan-3. It's going to take place today from Launchpad 2 in Sri Harikota. Now, it is done to study the moon from its surface, Earth from the orbit. The moon and the lander is going to, the entire module is going to orbit the Earth for about 5 days before it takes that propulsion, that it gets propelled into the orbit of the moon, and it's again going to orbit the moon for another 5 Earth days before it uses that propeller and get into the lunar orbit. Finally, attempt that soft landing.
Well,
it's so interesting to see. I mean, I'm quite excited about India finally taking this step.
When we went to Mars, there was this question about saying that it costs much less than the movie Gravity, and it's a lot of ingenuity, what is naturally possible that we are looking at. And it's not that our moon mission is something that is out of the box as such. It is looking at very simple measurements, like, for example, as you right said, if there are seismic activities, probably water on the moon, the presence of helium on the moon. These are some of the basic things that we are carrying out. But the fact is that if we can send the rover, then it's a proof of concept that we have arrived at that complicated maneuvering. And also, our space technology is something that we use for the bettering of lives here back on Earth. But the space technology that we have on offer, if we can have this low budget, high tech space technology, then we can make space accessible to other countries as well who are on low budget or do have a shoestring budget for any of the kind of space programs they want to get in. So you can collaborate with them, and we can also make it much more affordable for the rest of the countries.
Well, so final landing has been planned on the 23rd of August. You can catch a special show on Chandrayaan-3 today only at 11 a.m. On the News9 live streaming service. The final landing has been planned on 23rd of August, will be tracked by ISRO's Bengaluru station, and successful landing will make India only the 4th nation to soft land on the lunar surface. That's the rocket that you can see, the LVM-3, the PSLV, and the module that has been placed inside the top portion. It has the rover, the Pragyan rover. It has the Vikram lander. In 2019, we lost connection with the Vikram lander just minutes before making that final touchdown. Will it happen this time around? Well, let's hope not. India is ready to take that step, enter that club of high tech space and aeronautics, space science and aeronautics. We'll have to wait and find out. All eyes on this launch for all the details, for what's the difference between Chandrayaan-2, Chandrayaan-3, what can be expected. Do join us at 11 a.m. of course. Varghese, it seems like that's all the time we have for you. Before I move on, I'm going to quickly show you this one little cartoon by Uni. I really love the cartoons that Uni does. It's business as usual. This small little cartoon over here comprises the entire news of the day. I'll request the camera person to showcase that. Business as usual. It says, and the character is sitting on top of the Yamuna in Delhi. It says, aerospace never looked more beckoning. It has Chandrayaan over there. It also has the Rafale over there. Chandrayaan goes up, Rafale on the right. Aerospace never looked more beckoning, even as he's got all his stuff and he's floating on the Yamuna river. That's the entirety of the news comprised in one little cartoon. We're going to leave you with a reaction coming from the Prime Minister. All the best to the team at ISRO. Let's hope for the best and wish for the best. Let's hope that Chandrayaan-3 is a successful mission. That's all the time we have for you. Many thanks, Varghese, for joining us. We're signing off. Listen into what the Prime Minister had to say.
21वीं सदी की दुनिया टेक्नोलॉजी और टैलेंट के दम पर ही आगे बढ़ेगी। भारत और फ्रांस के बीच साझेदारी का ये बहुत बड़ा आधार है। हमारा स्पेस प्रोग्राम इसका प्रमाण है। थुम्बा में जब साउडिंग रॉकेट स्टेशन के निर्माण की बात आई तो फ्रांस ही था जो मदद के लिए आगे आया। उसके बाद से हम दोनों देशों ने स्पेस सेक्टर में बहुत लंबा सफर तय किया है। आज हम एक दूसरे के सैटेलाइट्स लॉन्च कर रहे हैं और आपको खुशी होगी, अभी जब मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूं तो भारत में चंद्रयान-3 की चंद्रयान-3 की लॉन्चिंग के लिए रिवर्स काउंटिंग की गूंज सुनाई दे रही है। कुछ ही घंटों बाद भारत के श्रीहरिकोटा से ये ऐतिहासिक लॉन्च होने जा रहा है।